everyone, I am going to make the keto chocolate chip muffins on camera for everyone to see. It's a cup of almond flour and it's 2 teaspoons of baking powder and 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder, pinch of salt, and then a cup of swerve or sweetener of your choice. And then you whisk all of those ingredients together real well. Okay. In a separate bowl, you have your half a cup of melted butter, and I've already let it set till it's down to room temperature. It's not warm anymore. Your 2 eggs, half a teaspoon of vanilla, and your 1/4 cup of almond milk. And I did not have almond milk, but I just used some canned milk because that's all I have. We're already out of milk. And then you whisk all of those together. You normally, if you have warm butter, you want to add it very slowly to your eggs, or you will make scrambled eggs. And you don't want to have scrambled eggs, so either let your butter set out till it's room temperature, or if you're going to microwave it for a few minutes or for a few seconds, then go ahead and let it cool off before you add it to your ingredients. And then you take the two and you mix them together, the wet and the dry together. And then you stir that up. And when you whisk that together, you should have kind of a thicker dough. And both times that I have done this, my dough has been really thin and runny. So I've added about another 1/4 cup of almond flour to make up for my dough being real. You see here, mine's real runny. I can't even keep it on a whisk at all. So when Keto Ginger made this, she was able to spoon it out into the well. So I think just the altitude of her being in Florida and me being in Oklahoma makes a difference. So I'm going to go ahead and add a 1/4 cup of almond flour. If you're going to try making this, I think you should start with maybe a tablespoon or 2 and make it that way until you get it to the consistency that's more kind of like a brownie or maybe a thick cake mix, and before you pour it into the wells so that you have the amount that you need. And then also, what is optional for this cake mix, chocolate chips and some sugar-free coconut and sugar-free chocolate chips, and that is optional for this recipe. So I am going to add some of both of those. I put a 1/4 cup of chocolate chips in the mixture, and then I also just add, I don't have sugar-free coconut, but I just add a little sprinkle of coconut to each one. Gives it a little bit of extra flavor. And that's the 2 things that I'm going to add to this. And then here are the chocolate chips. 1/4 cup of those. And I'm going to stir those in here. I'm going to pour it into the wells and show you what it looks like when I get it completed. And what I'm doing here is I am scraping my bowl into a Ziploc bag. It is pretty easy when you just squirt the Ziploc bag. You squish it all down to a corner, cut the corner, and then you just squirt it out into the well pan that you have, or I have a muffin pan, and so that's what I'm going to make. Last time I made little bitty teensy ones, and this time I'm going to make regular sized muffins. And so I'm going to clip the corner off of that, and then let me see if I can set this on this bowl and see if it can kind of show you how I do this. Can you see this? Here, let me angle the camera down just a little bit. Well, see if I can get it to stay. Okay, I think you can see most of that. So I've poured it into the Ziploc bag, and I'm going to cut the corner off, and I cut that off on the cabinet, and then I squeeze these into a muffin tin. Some people may see this as a waste of a Ziploc bag, but I see it as a lot less mess by doing it this way. Now, I am only going to make 11 of these because that's all the cupcake molds that I have left. My daughter just made some chocolate chip muffins for her channel, and so she had to use 12 of them, and I only had 11 more left. So I'm going to make me 11. So a couple of them may be a little overfilled, but that's how I'm going to do mine. Okay, let me show you what I've got here. You can kind of see I got 11 of these. I'm going to pop them in the oven at 400 degrees for 12 minutes because that's what hers baked for. So I'm just going to put them in there at the same time and see how they turn out. Okay, I'm back again. I got them back out of the oven because I did forget to add the coconut to them. So here real quick, I'm going to add some coconut to the top of them. It just gives that little bit extra pop of sweetness. I don't put as much sweetener as called for in the recipe because sometimes when you get too much sweetener, it seems to have an after flavor or aftertaste of the sweetener, and I don't really like that. So I went ahead and just added some regular coconut to the top, and then when you eat it, it gives that extra bite of sweetness. Talk to me for a few minutes while I stand here, clean off the cabinet, and load the dishwasher. I'm going to put everything up that I have used in the sink, and I'm going to unload and reload the dishwasher. So I'm not sure that that's something that you guys would want to see or how this is going to work. If it's too loud or too busy, then I just won't add this clip in there. But I figured while I'm cleaning up stuff, might as well talk to everybody and see how it's going. So just checking in, seeing how everybody's doing. I have 2 bags of sweetener here, Swerve, and I don't know how I've done that, but I'm going to add the 2 together. You guys, the first time I bought Swerve, I bought it at Walmart. No big deal. Bought the sweetener. I go back a few months later because I was trying to use it sparingly because I was starting keto. It is rather expensive. I think it was $7 for a 12-ounce bag of Swerve. And so I was trying to use it kind of sparingly and not really go overboard on it. And I went back a couple of months later and it's not there anymore. Now I use it often because I know it's good. I bake with it a lot. And so I go back a couple months later and it's not there. So I do go online and I buy the Swerve in a set. Let me grab that. Tell y'all what I'm talking about. I grab this Swerve and this Swerve, which is granular and powdered. And they are both 12 ounces and it was $16 for the 2 of them. So 8 a piece, free shipping. Good deal. And then, especially because I can't find it at Walmart. And then I hear a lot of people talking about this monk fruit sweetener. So then I buy this monk fruit sweetener. It is only 8.29 ounces. And it was $6.99. It was a little less than these were each. And it was like $6.99. And I wanted to try it for the couple of recipes that asked for monk fruit sweetener. So I got that off. You guys, I think I ate. So that's what I'm going to.
I want to do a movie called The Guinness Shoes to the Stars.
Okay. So I think you can see, I'm right here. Oh, that aggravates me so much when I'm making a video. I don't mind ever stopping the video to answer somebody's phone call or somebody's text. But when I stop the video and it says you're entitled to free medical, oh, that aggravates the far out of me. Usually when it's an unknown number, it's something that's kind of important or it's something maybe that I need to know or didn't know. So, it's kind of aggravating. Is chocolate chip cookies of the donut, what's it called? The donut